the untold story of the Battle of Long Tan. A storm in the rubber plantation. The air was thick with humidity as the Australian soldiers of D Company, 6th Battalion, Royal Australian Regiment, 6th RAR, moved cautiously through the Long Tan rubber plantation in Phuoc Toi Province, South Vietnam. It was August 18, 1966, and these 108 young men, mostly in their early 20s, had been sent out on patrol after their base at Nui Dat was shelled the night before. Little did they know, over 2,000 Viet Cong and North Vietnamese soldiers lay hidden in the jungle, waiting. The ambush begins. As the Australians pushed deeper into the plantation, the eerie silence was shattered by a sudden violent burst of machine gun fire. The jungle came alive with enemy movement. Bullets tore through the trees as the Viet Cong launched a coordinated ambush. Within moments, 11 Australians were killed, their bodies lying among the rubber trees. The survivors scrambled for cover, returning fire as best they could. The enemy outnumbered them nearly 20-1, but D Company refused to break. The fight for survival rain began to pour, turning the battlefield into a muddy, chaotic hell. The Australians fought back fiercely, calling in artillery support from Nui Dat. The New Zealand and Australian gunners, positioned miles away, unleashed a devastating barrage of shells, lighting up the battlefield with explosions. The sheer volume and accuracy of artillery fire began to halt the advancing Viet Cong. But the Australians were running out of ammunition. Their radio operator, desperately trying to call for reinforcements, struggled to be heard over the thunder of gunfire and rain. Back at Nui Dat, Major Harry Smith, the commander of D Company, repeatedly requested reinforcements. At first, higher command was hesitant. Sending more troops into the ambush could be disastrous. But as the situation worsened, the decision was made. Armored personnel carriers, APCs, carrying reinforcements from A Company and B Company would go in. The turning point. As darkness fell, the sound of distant engines rumbled through the plantation. The reinforcements had arrived. Their .50 caliber machine guns opened fire, tearing through the enemy ranks. The Viet Cong, already battered by artillery, began to withdraw. When the battlefield fell silent, 245 enemy bodies were counted, though intelligence later suggested their losses were much higher. 18 Australians had been killed and 24 wounded, but against impossible odds, they had survived. The aftermath and legacy. In the days that followed, the survivors of D Company were hailed as heroes, but official recognition was slow to come. Many soldiers who fought in the battle felt their bravery had been overlooked, and it took decades for them to receive proper honours. Today, the Battle of Long Tan is remembered as one of Australia's greatest military victories, a testament to the courage and resilience of soldiers who stood their ground against overwhelming odds. Every year, on August 18th, veterans and families gather to honour the fallen. Young men who fought a battle that should have been their last, but somehow, against all odds, they survived.